All right, so now we are officially live streaming on on the Red or Green Books Facebook page. So if you want to go there onto the Facebook page, you can share the stream. You can also save or download the video. You can also share the link to the video, and anyone can watch it. They do not need to have a Facebook account in order to view these lives after they are said and done. If any one of my Word is Right team members would like to drop the Zoom link in the live video, that would be super awesome as well. All right, so welcome everyone to the Word is Right's Saturday night open mic. I'm your host, Marissa Prada. The Word is Right is our online performing arts platform. So we'll hear music, comedy, poetry, spoken word, hip hop, rap, singing, any sort of like vocal stylings and performances you'll have here. We also have writing workshops. We also have fun shows like Terry Rose Dirtson does karaoke the last Saturday of the month. And we also do podcast live. So Shaki G hosts many shows on this platform. She does the Out Loud LGBTQ podcast live the first Sunday of the month. And we are going to be introducing American Graveyard podcast live to The Word is Right and Red or Green Books as a podcast live. And I'm very, very excited because the outpouring of support from our contributors has allowed us to assemble an international panel also. So we're going to not only have a U.S. panel of poets, but we're having an international panel of poets commenting on gun violence in of course, the U.S., but worldwide as well. So they're going to bring a great global perspective to the discussions. So tune into The Word is Right. We have shows just about every day of the week. We do have spots open if you're interested in doing a show or workshop or doing even just a one-time specialty show would be awesome as well. Okay, so some quick announcements. I'm so excited. Tonight's feature is the poet RoseGold. The poet RoseGold will be featuring tonight. I'm so excited. I cannot get enough of this woman. I got to hug her in person in September at the New Mexico Poetry Summit. She is a real human being, I promise you, and she's an outstanding and amazing poet. Her debut book of poetry we are going to be releasing this summer along with the 2024 debut poets. So there are events scheduled this summer for that launch. And the next big event will be a week from tomorrow. It will be, I think that's the 16th of June. And that is our readathon and art show. So we're going to be unveiling the cover art. We're going to be talking about the books. Each poet will have an opportunity to do a featured set so you can hear poetry from them. Pre-orders will be or should be up by then. So you can go ahead and pre-order their book, help them fund the process of getting their books launched. It is going to be an amazing time. Oh, awesome. We're going to continue inviting folks in the room here. Let's go. All right. Yes. So if anyone who's joining us late wants to read, let me know. All right. So the New Mexico Poetry Summit is September 13th, 14th, and 15th. Poet RoseGold will be here. Shaki will be here. Terry Rose will be here. Who else is in the room who's going to be here? Rich Boucher will be here. Jeff Concho said he might come. Stacey Artist Dyson will be here. She's an amazing poet laureate from San Diego. And she, of course, leads the Fearless Tesoro Women. And that is the VIP Sunday show will be with the women of Tesoro. And I believe we have 10 or 11 women on the calendar for that show during the summit. So go to redorgreenbooks.com, red READ, and you can find all the information, read the bios, see who's coming. It is a 3-day summit. It's going to be amazing. Tickets are on sale now for that. And then, of course, Tesoro, if you'd like to know more about them, you can visit their website, firesingers.com. and learn more about what we do as artists, as performing artists. All right, let's see. On the list tonight, and we'll go over the rules and what to expect. I'm glad we started a little bit late as folks are rolling in. I have escape artist, Jeff Cottrell, poet Sophia Falco. Yes, you must use all 3 of her names. Shaki G, Terry Rose Jertson. Monique, if you would like to read, I have you on the list. If you do not want to read, that is totally okay, and you don't have to. But I wasn't sure if you wanted to, so I'm bookmarking you a spot just in case you would like to read. Welcome, Chanson. Welcome, Victoria. Mark States, I got you. And Rich Boucher. So if you would like to read, drop your name in the chat. If you're not on that list and you put your name in the chat, I'm really sorry. Oh, no, not be read. Thank you. No problem, Monique. Welcome. We're glad to have you. Welcome to this open mic tonight. Just wanted to hold that for you in case. All right. So a little bit about open mics, especially because we do have some new people. This is a live spoken word show, meaning you're going to hear a lot of different things. Okay. Trigger warnings are not required on this program, but if you would like to use one, we will champion you in that, but they are not required. So please understand, you may hear things that may be triggering, maybe happy, maybe sad, maybe, hits close to home for you. If you need to step out or mute yourself, or walk away from your computer, that's totally fine. We'll hold that space for you. There is no censorship on this show. You can say dick and shit and pussy and all those great, wonderful words. The only thing that we will not allow at all is any sort of hate speech. If I feel you're a threat to anyone in this room, you will be gone, baby, gone, and not allowed back in. We run a very tight ship here, but we do want to keep it professional. We want to keep it respectful. The chat is open for you to use at your leisure, but please do not abuse the chat. If I have any instances of bullying or defamatory language being used, you will also get kicked the fuck out. All right. So please just be respectful. That's all this is just be respectful, be professional. Feel free to DM me if you are having an issue. But so far, in all the years that we've been doing this, we don't have an issue with the chat being misused. So let's not start tonight. We have only one feature tonight, Poet RoseGold. And so she's going to do a longer extended featured set. She has up to 30 minutes. We're going to go to the open mic list. We'll do the open mic list for about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll bring RoseGold up. And then she'll take her time and deliver whatever she has prepared for you tonight. And then we'll go back to the open mic list. If we have time, we will do a second round. If not, we won't. And it's a pretty full room tonight, so I'm not foreseeing that we'll be doing a second round. And then I usually invite the feature to do an encore poem to close us out. So you really don't want to go anywhere. You want to stay right here and catch every moment you can of this woman's work because she's simply beautiful. And her book, oh my God, y'all, you just pre-order that thing the hell out of it right now. Buy 2 copies, one for you and one to give away because it's just sensational. All right, so let's do 5 minutes on the open mic list. Again, going down, and I will type this in the chat as well because people are constantly coming in and wanting to get on the list. So escape artist Jeff Cottrell, poet Sophia Falco, Shaki G, Terry Rose, Mark States, and Rich Boucher. If I missed anyone, please let me know. Drop your name. If I missed it, drop your name again, and I will get you on there. All right. So if escape Jeff Cottrell or poet Sophia Falco would like to go later, let me know, please, because Darkman Blues needs to leave. And so if anyone is willing to switch with him, escape what?
Oh, he could go in front of me if he needs to go.
All right. So Samuel, I'll put you in there. Okay. Samuel Rain. Technically, his name is Samuel Rain, not Darkman Blues. But then when we call him Darkman Blues, he wonders why we call him Darkman Blues. But yes. All right, let's see. Here comes Rachel. I want to make sure that this chat goes so fast on the Chromebook that it's hard for me to see it. Let me pop this out and make sure before I start that I'm not missing any of you. Yes, thank you, Rich. Yes, technically. All right. So welcome, Rachel Johnson, writer in the house, another local New Mexico poet. I love it when the locals come and show out here. All right, here we go. Monique, I really hope you enjoyed tonight. It's going to be a wonderful show, so thank you for being here. All right, this poem is titled Somewhere. Somewhere, There is a house that dances on a bed of Rocky Mountain wildflowers. Imaginative kaleidoscope landscape where New Mexico winds blow bouquets of juniper and promises through windows born of closed doors and hope that bridged hearts from two lives so separated once together, no earthly force could split. Somewhere there is a house with a wraparound grandma hugging porch that invites joy and courage from memories and hope that cradles hearts from lives once so separated, now stand together so no earthly force dare divide. Somewhere there is a house behind the mind of my eye, where I stand with the third of his name in a kitchen of our creation, making coffee and ginger tea in matching mugs of love, hands together, clapping, praying, hoping. Thankful for that one night you told me you had the same dream, that one day there would be a house somewhere where we could become grown and old with peace and love to slowly age together. Now I find you are gone and I scrape away for grace in the gratitude, only to find that our somewhere house has burned down and the charred embellishment of our love was just one woman's dream. And that's that piece. All right, y'all. Feel free to unmute your mics between performances, but please keep your mics muted when poets are up here. Darkman Blues, Samuel Rain, are you ready? Would you like to go, Samuel? Are you ready now?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Let me find you so I can spotlight you real quick, sir. There you are. All right, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not going to quite take 5 minutes, but I'm going to share as much as I can from Darkman Blues and, of course, Complicated Passions. The title of this first poem is called For Mankind. We live in a world of turbulence, a problem unsolved. It has always been the inability of man to see ourselves with nature as one. We've all done the same, closed minds driven by the thought, I am better than you. A class system doomed to failure. Being the only option on the table, man has created beautiful things, and yet he is still the master of his own destruction. One hand give it, the other hand take it away. We live in a world where monsters are real. And unlike a movie, we will end ourselves. Power has no fear because man values only himself. Great minds speak of this. Greater minds have died for this. When truth has become a blur, fading into non-existence, like man will one day for not being human. This next poem is titled Miranda. I know him and sometimes her. It reads, stop them with bullets. That part is never read. In the small print, it says, the black ones. It seems I must maintain my strength when you are the fear the truth tells me. My death is not the answer to your freedom. I got questions. Why have you canceled the rights to my life? Has America gotten better wanting to be white? And just my thoughts. I can't be free when you're the only ones living it, shedding skin just to be the same you. Deleted scenes from Darkman Blues. Some scenes have been deleted. This graveyard holds the contents of my past. No happy memories, just the ones you wanted me to believe. Your promises on paper may be worthless. You checking the value of my life. Pictures don't lie. They paint you living out your yesterdays today when you had rights to kill me, being I was once a slave. You haven't changed. Your fears that we have, knowing the real you, your attempts at erasing the truth when we can see right through you. America's got hidden agendas filled by history's lies. Poets speak truth to justice because it's just us telling it without deleted scenes. And now, dear future, I know we haven't talked lately. I've been thinking. Every time I have temptation, it's you. Always the same, them questions. Maybe today, maybe not, wanting to hear what you do, like tomorrow is going to be different, knowing I will never know until I make it happen. My thoughts tell me, if you want this, showing me what it feels like being a future love poem in the making. I am complicated passions. Thank you.
Yes, y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for Samuel Rain, Complicated Passions, Dark Man Blues. Woo! Yes, he has 4 books. They're amazing. And so you should definitely get in touch with him if you're interested in his work. Plus, he just did a whole book of love poems with Coach Josh Smalls, and it was a beautiful, like, back and forth. I met Samuel many, well, at least more than 3. I guess so we can call it many now. So times in person. So it's exciting to have him yes, being here. And Samuel, you're coming to the summit, right, in September?
Well, my scheduling is so filled up. I don't know if I can make that date, but I'm trying to
Well,
cut
let
some.
me know soon, because if not, I gotta move up the waiting list. Like, let me know in, like, this week. If you can't, that's, I mean, we understand. You're a busy man, right? Rightfully so.
Yes, yes, it has
Um,
definitely picked up. And for those who don't know, I'm the Poet Laureate of Kern County. In 2025, we'll have our first poetry festival. It's already in the works. It's going to be nice in April, the beginning of April. And next Saturday, I'm performing live with Evan Bishop at World Records here in Kern County.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
keep me posted. If I can support, if I can do anything to be part of that, I will absolutely drive to LA and come be part of that.
Oh, Bakersfield.
How far away is, I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll
I
find
can
out.
drive. I got wheels. I can drive. We're good, right?
Yeah.
That part, we
The
make it
40 will
happen.
get you here.
You make poetry or you make excuses. That's it. Let's make some poetry, not some excuses. Um, but yeah, I got you. What if whatever you need, let me know. It would be an exciting thing. If you've never been to a live event with all these poets, y'all need to just do it. Next up, we got Escape Artist. I'm so excited for her. Not only is she become a great friend of mine, but she also is a cover artist for Red or Green Books, and she's doing her first cover in the debut launch. It's very exciting to get to know this woman and to watch her work grow. Let me see if I can find you. So I won't be able to spotlight you, I don't think, because your camera's off, but that is okay. You do not need to have your camera on to read. So I'll bring Escape up. Jeff Cottrell, you're on deck. Escape.
Oh, it's
Escape.
my go. Okay, I'm here. I'm here.
Got you.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, okay, good, good. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so I'm gonna read this one. It's called Magic Carpet. Shocky already heard it today, but sorry, Shocky, just gonna hear it again. Most people think the words carpet and rug are interchangeable, but there's a difference. A rug covers an area in a room. Carpet spans from wall to wall, leaving no trace of the floor underneath. Right now, Gaza, Sudan, and the Congo are being swept under the rug. The world's largest rug is made up of 38 tons of cotton and wool. Took 1,200 weavers to construct. Consists of 2.2 individual hand-tied knots and covers 60,600 square feet. But it's still not big enough to cover the area of atrocities America is involved in. The truth is too big to be covered up, in which case they will lay their carpet from border to border. Soon enough, the world will be covered in carpet for imperialists to walk over, to cushion the suffering, so as not to get blood on their feet and turn them into red bottoms. So there will be no trace of the floor made of the people they walk over, sweeping away enslaved histories and genocides, carpet-bound bodies swept under the rug and the rubble they were buried in. They must think it's a magic carpet. Once under the rug, we forget. How many genocides fit under the fabric of this nation? How many bodies fit under the rug, tripping over her own lies? But America is a dedicated cleaner, a Stanley steamer. She will vacuum every fiber of our existence right out of history. Carpets can hold 4 times its weight in dirt, which means they can cover up 4 times the trauma, can hide 4 times the tragic in histories. Souls trapped in the textiles, walked over with guilty shoes. And no matter how much of a dedicated cleaner America is, she will never get the bloodstains out of her rugs, no matter the amount she scrubs or stain remover she applies, no matter the amount of time she tries to beat the murder out of it. There will always be a trace of her barbaric history trapped in the fiber of her being. Thanks.
Let's go, y'all. Unmute your mics. Give it up for Escape Artist. That was incredible.
Woo!
The truth is too big to cover up. Yeah, those need to be said. Those we need to keep speaking on this. It's going to be a developing issue, I think, for the foreseeable future that we all should be speaking on. So Escape, where can people find you? All that good stuff. You guys can plug yourself also when you read, so you guys can follow each other. Okay, she might have stepped away. So you can find her Escape Artist on Instagram. I don't know if she's on Facebook or not, but you can find her Escape Artist. You can also read her bio as a cover artist for Red or Green Books on the website, redorgreenbooks.com, Red, R-E-A-D. It has all the links to her handles, samples of her artwork, all of that wonderful stuff. And next Sunday, when we have the readathon for the Debut Poets in the Art Show, she'll be unveiling the cover art she's been working on. So I'm so excited for that. All right, let's go. Jeff Cottrell, you are up. Then we'll bring Post Sophia Falco up, and then we're going to break for our feature tonight, and then we'll go back to the open mic list. I've had a chance to meet Jeff Cottrell in person. Yes, it's very difficult to recognize him. I don't know why that is, but I'm still working on a poem about recognizing Jeff Cottrell. It's like, where's Waldo? But like, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe it's a Canadian thing, but so excited.
Hats and sunglasses are magical, aren't they?
It's freaky. Like, he was standing right next to me in New York City, and I didn't even recognize him at first. I was like, oh shit, it's Jeff Cottrell. But you hear him and you know instantly who he is. If you've never heard Jeff Cottrell, you are in for a treat. He has a wonderful novel called Hate Story, which is out, which they better not make you change the title of that. That's freaking
I agree.
They should
but
not make you do that. I was a little peeved when I saw that that they were saying you should change it. No, you shouldn't. Be authentic you.
Well, the way they're putting it, it's a rebranding. It's a rebranding because apparently the title Hate Story is not marketable. Who'd have thought? So so it's going to be rebranded later this year. I don't know when yet, but later this year it's going to be rebranded as What Did Paul Do? Which is, I mean, it's okay. I mean, what I like about that one is that it reminds me of what made Sammy.
Why don't you do like insert blank here or something?
Insert blank here.
Insert blank here. Like, you know what I mean? Because then, you know what would be so dope is if on the cover the blank spot was like the chalkboard paint, and it came with a little like your bookmark was actually like chalk, and so you can write whatever you want on the cover. I mean, you might as well, since they're like making shit up now. But that's so. But I think that would be such a dope idea, right? I've never seen an interactive book cover where you could write in your own title for that, or you could just call it Blank Story and then have them write whatever they want instead of the word hate. They don't get it. They don't get it.
That's fun.
I get it.
Read the book and see what you will think it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's my entire whole point is you don't like this word, so let's blank it out and let people write their own what they want it to be. I mean, it's kind of, anyways. I'm so sidetracked as a publisher. I can't believe that they're doing that, but whatever, it's okay. I hope whatever happens with that, I've got a copy of Hate Stories, so it's gonna be like a collector's item then, right?
Probably, yeah.
You only have so many copies of Hate Story in circulation if they change it. So, but anyways, all right, Jeff, and then Sophia, you're next, and we'll go to Rose Gold. Sorry, guys.
All right. So something a slightly different tone. There I am. So the Old Vale poetry series in Cork, Ireland, where I'm going to be featuring in person this November, by the way. But they have their monthly series, which it's a hybrid, you can do it on Zoom. They have the 5-word poetry competition, which was what happens is you get 5 words from the audience, and then people who want to take part, they write a poem in 15 minutes using those 5 words, and the winner gets a drink or something. And so it's sort of like poetry improv. So just for fun, I'm going to read a couple of my entries, my recent entries in that. So this one doesn't have a title. The 5 words were friends, ripple, belligerent, steam, and playground. And I came up with this. My friends were quite belligerent that day in the playground where we were wont to play. It began with an intense debate that started nice and plummeted to hate. Now, there we go with the hate again. First, Betty asked, "What can you tell is the best song by Peter Gabriel?" Then Johnny said, "No contest here, his best is Steam, it's very clear." This caused a ripple of dismay that spread across my friends that day. "You're wrong," cried Todd. "It's Shock the Monkey." The way he said it was proud and spunky. "No, no," I said, all shocked and aghast. "The truth is, Gabriel never surpassed the work he did in the 70s with Genesis." Their faces did freeze. "Shut up," said Bill. "I hate Genesis. Their music was so pretentious." This sparked a round of fisticuffs until the others screamed, "Enough!" And to this day, I die on that hill. Genesis remains Peter Gabriel's career peak still. So that was written in 15 minutes, and you can probably tell. Here's another one that was also, this is from February. Yes, I did pronounce the I in pretentious because I was trying to make it, I don't know, the meter and the rhyme thingy. So this one was from February 12th, and this was published in their annual anthology. They do an annual anthology of 5-word entries. So this one, the 5 words were boulevard, church, ghost, yard, and pink. And I titled it Spooky in Pink. On the bleak boulevard sits a quiet churchyard that remains undisturbed, you would think. But round every midnight, passers-by get a fright from a ghost who shrieks, "I love to wear pink!" The spirit frolics and prances, performs macabre dances by the graves in the yard with a wink. And he shows off his hats and his gloves and his pants as he declares once again, "I love pink! Look at my pink shoe, my pink pantaloons too. Can't get enough of this color, it's my kink. With this pink lederhose, every other ghost knows that I'm the one who always wears pink. Since he saw the Barbie movie, it's the color he finds groovy, and his quirky reputation won't shrink. So the next time you're in town, take some time to walk down to the yard with the ghost who wears pink." That was Spooky in Pink, also written in 15 minutes, and maybe you can tell. But I'll be doing much more polished material when I tour the UK and Ireland this coming fall. If you have friends in England and in Cork, tell them to come to the thing.
All right, y'all, unmute your mics. Give it up for the one and only Mr. Jeff Cottrell.
And sadly, it doesn't look like I'm going to be in Albuquerque this year, but hope you guys have a good time. Yeah, I thought about it when you had the deal on the table, but I decided I've got other stuff going on, so maybe another year, maybe next year.
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. And we have no idea where this is going, but we're just holding the space for it. And it's very exciting to watch poets from all over come here. Like Just Our Misdemeanor is going to be here from London. We do have poets from Canada coming. And then, of course, all over the U.S. As well. Mexico, like it's going to be a really great international event.
Right.
the place where you can come to meet people like Jeff, right? I mean, he's not in the US all that often. He is from Canada, right? So when you get a chance to meet him in one of these places, it's a good idea if you can make it to go. Rich, your hand is raised.
Yeah, you had asked for us to open our mics, and I didn't want to interrupt anyone. I just wanted to say good job, Jeff, and I liked that you hyper pronounced the individual components of the word. I look like that. I just admire that you did that. I just wanted to say that. Thanks.
Okay.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. I love it. If you would like to see what we did last year for the New Mexico Poetry Summit, go to our YouTube page at Red Or Green Books, because Jeff Cottrell's in there a lot. And if you're not watching to the very end, you're going to miss the most fun part, which I kept for the very end. It's like one after the critics, how it gives you the little extra, because, you know, I'm all about extra. Jeff Cottrell finishes the movie at the end. So you need to watch the whole thing to be able to catch all of it, because Jeff is a wonderful way that he closed that movie for us. All right, next up, we have the one and only poet, Sophia Falco. And now she actually has 2 more names added to her name. Award-winning, well, 2 words hyphenated, award-winning poet Sophia Falco. She always, you should be proud
It's
of
multiple.
that. Don't shake your head. Don't lower your head. Don't shade it, because you earned it. And she's up for some other book awards. She has a new book out, which is amazing. So I'll let her go, and then we'll bring up the poet RoseGold for everyone tonight.
It's multiple award-winning poet Sophia Falco.
Yeah, thank you for that, Shaki G. Yeah.
You're right. Stand proud. Thank you. I wrote in the chat, Spaceman. I'm a little distractible at this moment in time. Here he is. Can you see the Spaceman? He needed a proud introduction to this open mic. Okay. So I have 2 poems, very different tones. The first one, I didn't want to put a trigger warning. It's a little about violence, but anyways, and then the second's a free write, so it's not done. But so here we go. The poet with a broken writing hand. He did not deserve his name, Moses, verbally harassing me for 3 days. Why didn't he pick on someone his own size? He was such a skinny guy. Hypothetically, in a real fight, I would have whooped his ass. He'd talk hella trash to me, but never talk directly back to my words. He walked away, perhaps physically unscathed, whereas I was phased, triggered beyond repair that week. This went down as anger, resurfaced to great heights. No, I'm not talking about make America great again, because that's bullshit. I'm a non-violent person, but inanimate objects are another story. So when I saw the whiteboard, I pulled the move that my favorite basketball player did and punched it, not necessarily realizing in the heat of the moment that what laid behind it was metal lockers. I'm still a damn poet, but with a broken hand, and that is devastating, but not as devastating as a dead body. Thank you. All right. Switching tones. This is a free write about my favorite place. Waves, not goodbye in my mind, blue stretching for eternity sometimes, until the horizon stops it, but knowingly the ocean still exists further out, sometimes mirrors my blue moods, hard to get out of this, but she said, we'll get you through and out of it. I could watch the ocean for countless hours, but locked in my third eye, ever changing, I'm changing, and I'm trying to grow like the coral against the odds. Math and statistics say perhaps I shouldn't be here on this planet today, but I'm a survivor and a fighter of demons whom are dressed in dark blue dresses. They're swirling and twirling, showing off their dance moves, making it rain, as they say. Well, I say they need to be released from my own body. My body is fragile bones, but not my spirit that rides these waves of life and at times driving, at happy times with the sea otters who hold starfish in their palms and their palms. And I'm trying to be the star of my own life, thus to reclaim my agency back. Thank you, everybody.
Let's go. Unmute your mics. Give it up for poet Sophia Falco. Multi-award-winning poet Sophia Falco. Yes. Thank you, Shockey, for that clarification. Where can people find you, follow you, all that good stuff?
I'll drop my website link in the chat, and it has all the info you need. So I'll do that now. Thanks for the space and hearing me out and stuff. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Great poetry so far.
Good to have you here. I always love listening to Sophia. So let's go. All right. We're going to bring up our feature reader tonight, the poet RoseGold, who I am overjoyed with gratitude to be able to be publishing her debut book of poetry. She and 9 other trepidatious poets are going to be launching their books this summer, and it is an incredible endeavor. I have watched this book come to life. I've watched the cover art and the manuscript develop, and it is just stunning. So it could easily be one of the best books you buy this year. I'm going to go ahead and read her bio, go ahead and give you some of the handles. Again, you can go to the website redorgreenbooks.com and you can read all about the debut authors. You can get the hyperlinks to Poet RoseGold's social media, all of the things that she has going on to be able to get your pre-orders in. All right. The poet RoseGold hails from the real Gotham City, a Bronx, New York native who discovered poetry at 15 and began using it as a more creative way of communicating with the world. Coupled with her 20-year career as an Army photojournalist, poet RoseGold knew how to capture the human condition in real time through her lens and record its consciousness with her pen. She jokingly refers to her work as incendiary redbone poetry, highlighting the injustices tarnishing the American landscape. Spirituality, intimacy, self-love, Black love, mental health, and past life in the military. Poet RoseGold's voice has crossed time zones virtually and in person through podcasts and numerous community engagements, including an appearance on the Red Dot stage at TEDx Colorado Springs in 2019. Poet RoseGold is also a member of Tesoro, a newly formed organization whose purpose is to hold safe space internationally for women, word warriors, to do their work. Poet RoseGold's work has been featured in several anthologies: Between a Laugh and a Tear, Love Letters to Gaia, the Cuddly Family Foundation for Veterans Poetry Journals Volume 1, and the Cuddly Family Foundation for Veterans Poetry Journals Volume 1 and Volume 2. Poet Speak Magazine, issue number 40, Rising Voices, Poems Towards the Social Justice Revolution, These Fought in Any Case, a collection of poems and short stories by veterans, and I Can't Breathe, Volume 2. Her debut book of poetry is Poetry is a Love Language, but first let me tell you something. And it will be released later in 2024. You can find her on Facebook, the poet RoseGold, RoseGold, one word. And you can also find her on Instagram, the poet RoseGold. Unmute your mics, please. Let's give it up for our featured reader tonight, the one and only poet RoseGold. Woo-hoo!
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Get it, girl.
Hi, Shockey. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna wake up a little bit now. All right. So bear with me. Before I get started, of course, as always, I need to give you my Miranda warning, and that is, you have the right to spit fire. Anything you say can and will be used to burn blasphemies to the ground. You have the right to live a life free from generational curses. If you cannot afford these yokes and burdens, feel free to leave them at the foot of the microphone. All right, let's start. This first piece is an ode to Black women. Perfection wrapped in melanin, flowers bow down to her light. Man's spirit takes flight upon sight of her constellation. Mother of all civilization, other marvels at this sensation. Oh, songs of grief, trial, triumph, gifted within her amazing grace. Resilience is her superpower, for she has borne the battle where others have easily fallen. She can make nations lay their weapons down or take up arms, all in the name of love. Make a way out of no way, 6 days a week, twice on Sunday. Blessings fall like rain when she pray. Current mood, slay. Permanent mode, all day. Chocolate fountain from which brilliance flows. Addicts yearn to get swept up in her currents. Excellent by design, other envies because they know that she is the chosen kind. Confident yet humble, good cake don't crumble. 1,000 lifetimes will pass away before anyone can imagine a being comparable to the power of she, me, we, us, Black women, a tribute noir. End. The inmates are about to take over this asylum, where in our generation there is barely a pulse. While you roll over and play dead, they threaten to take what others have died for, wresting it from your white knuckle grasp like the densest of beasts. This battle is not for the faint of heart. We are embarking upon another senseless war. Wake up, everybody, from your comatose state. They are attempting to rewrite your narrative as you slumber. You should have already known, but failed to arm yourself with the knowledge of your history. And one day, too late, you will look up and wonder, what's going on? The message cannot be clearer. They wait with bated breath for our self-destruction, with their generalizations that we're a collective Sodom and Gomorrah living in the city. You cannot stand tight-lipped and with a blind eye to what's happening in your country, then wonder, why can't we be friends? Patriotism is not something you choose to pull off the shelf, dust off, and brandish as a weapon when someone does not agree with you. Not every revolution involved armed resistance, but revolution was never won with gentility. You choose to stay bound, you accept the status quo. You decide to sleep, you will willingly deny the truth. You make the choice to remain stuck, you will never be open to enlightenment. None of this should be if we collectively understand our power, but you choose to sit on the sidelines content in the myth that the revolution will not be televised, that we've somehow arrived, all the while we're still being denied. Gil Scott was right, the revolution will be live. Will you? End. Now, mind you, I wrote that just before the 2016 election. I might as well have written it yesterday. I might as well have written it yesterday. So, okay, did that already. Okay, this piece is kind of, it's sort of a dedication to Breonna Taylor. It's called I Resent Your Sleep. Will you sleep? Of course, how nice. I guess that's why I never heard a reaction from you. Should I be reminded each time I see you how the injustice system determined that drywall was more valuable than a Black woman's body? As you turn over, probably knocking all the pillows onto the floor, just remember, Breonna was sleeping too, minding her business, sharing her space with only her man and her dreams. While you rest in comfort, counting sheep, I lay awake again, mind racing faster and faster in an attempt to get away from the imagined trigger man I fear, whose rounds may one day find their way into the sanctity of my dwelling. Once again, the cold skin that wraps around your apathetic bones drives that train of indifference and derails on the tracks of my tears. Meanwhile, as you slumber, many of us imbued with hue conducted buddy checks on one another, all of us going around on social media DMs asking, are you all right? Knowing good and well none of us are. but we must inquire to put our own minds at ease. It's going to be another long night. When you bed down for the evening, could you kindly remind your kinfolk to stop treating Black trauma like a spectator sport? It takes no energy or effort to deliver bedside commentary that reveals you have no clue as to how our movements are policed and where we're expected, if not forced, to shrink back and modify how we show up in the world. And when the rhetoric triggers your sensitivity, you rectify that with the flicker of your TV remote. Stop your othering and show me love by opening your mind instead of your mouth. Save for acknowledging the fact that many of us repeatedly undergo the laborious task of hauling ourselves out of bed and facing a world that discards us like yesterday's newspaper over and over again. Will you sleep? Of course. How nice. And okay. So as Marissa said, I do have a book coming out soon. Finally, truthfully, it is called Poetry is Love Language. But first, let me tell you something. And people who know me personally could probably relate to that title and that subtitle, because it's a little bit, my poetry is a little bit of a balance between both. I'm primarily known for writing about social injustice, but because we are, as a collective, we are not a monolith. As she said, I write about mental health. I write about past life in the military. I write about Black love. I write about self-love. Touch a little bit on toxic relationships, but I didn't want that to take over and gather any power. So there's only one piece in the whole book of 30 poems? I lost track. 30 poems in the book. Only one centers on toxic relationships. But like I said, I didn't want to give that energy, that spirit, any power. So I don't write on that too much. So this piece, 2 years ago, and Center for the Arts here in Colorado Springs, they had a rendition of The Bluest Eye. And there was a call for some poets to write a piece that's based on the book. And I actually had to go back. I read it back in college. I had to go back and read it again because there are some pieces I forgot about it. So I wanted to make my piece authentic. So this is the piece I wrote, Acknowledging the Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. It took a village to break you, a self-depreciating lot rife with misguided enmity. 12 years of bad luck you were, a mirror image of their failures reflected back at them. Chipping away at your frame with each verbal tumult, every beating, every rejection, until you shattered and the shards of broken innocence pierced you until you retreated inward, searching for some part of you to be loved. How dare you love the unlovable and with the absence of guile? Your inheritance was abandonment. Even in the caretaker's presence, they could only project onto you what they had been taught. Father literally thrown away, and mother, well, the village instructed her to value the tears of a pink and yellow girl, vice the wailings of her own child. The village where Black was a fighting word, where it was easier to engage in self-flagellation than to lock and load and redirect its ire at crackers whose flashlight illuminated an already broken young man's indignity. But if only your eyes could turn to blue, then no one would despair, only sing songs of jubilee, even when your father spilled his self-loathing into your virtue. You held on to hope upon hope that blue eyes would end this recurring nightmare. You knew things that little girls shouldn't. Porch-side gossip, nor the target of menacing little boys. Claudia rooted for you in the baby, though. She wanted to love that baby to counter the love for little white dolls and little white girls, especially that Shirley Temple. But they still couldn't see your blue eyes beyond the mire of your existence. Makes one want to cry tears of mourning for defiled innocence and dreams deferred. For then none of those misdeeds breed love. And Ooh, Shiza. Let me take a breath for a second. Matter of fact, let me take a sip. Hold on. A little bit parched today. Y'all still with me? You good?
Always.
Okay. I ain't
Whoop,
spitting.
whoop, we are here.
Okay, so I ain't spitting to myself now. Okay.
Sing it, sis.
Okay. This piece I wrote also 2 years ago. It was after something, Marissa, you brought a lot of attention to a couple of years ago, and I think again readdressed it when we were in New Mexico last summer, about the Uvalde shooting, the school shooting. And people were saying how if some of the parents would take the course that Mamie Till Mobley took when she boldly decided to have an open casket at Emmett Till's funeral, which Jet Magazine boldly put on their front cover. So this piece is entitled Mamie. The September 15th, 1955 issue of Jet Magazine boldly ran a picture of the open casket containing Emmett Till's mutilated corpse. "Let them see what I've seen," she said. In that moment, she became a reluctant warrior for justice that her son, to this day, never received. This nation does not fight for its children once expelled from the womb, appalled over the fact that they dare exist, mere collateral damage resulting from the governmental neglect and avarice, too occupied with getting off over the smell of carbon in the air. Dead children don't scratch their itch for power, so don't expect them to keep the Sandy Hook promise rather than posting the faces of the innocent. What good would it do to those godless vessels to see images of these babies, these elderly patrons, the teachers, the retired security guards, after their forms have been devastated by their symbols of democracy? What if their loved ones were to evoke the spirit of Mamie and jolt the world out of its comatose state with the gruesome evidence of its desensitization, in which only the cold-hearted would take offense? Likewise, those decrying replacement theory conspiracies, when the only ones being targeted for elimination possess more pigmentation. Mamie didn't want activism. She wanted her 14-year-old son to come home. She instead had to insist that the world see what they did to her baby, if it would make them hold up a mirror to their own apathy. I'll assume that thoughts and prayers were rubbish to her too. End. Oh, okay. There's another piece I'm gonna spit, but I'm looking for something right now. Since we talk about showing love to women, or Black women specifically, because it seems like there's not a whole lot of that as of late. And it's really sad and it's really disheartening, but we must take heart, because when you know who you are and you know whose you are a very powerful human being. And people can sense that, you know? So, and why am I not finding this poem? Bear with me, y'all. I just wanted to find this so I can lighten the mood. So she. Oh, by the way, the book will be going to print soon. So, and as I've been telling everybody, once the site is set up, the pre-order site is set up, I'll push that out to everybody. So, okay. Well, instead I'm gonna read this. This is a long piece, so ride with me through this. Since I got 30 minutes, ride with me through this. This piece is called Dulcet Tones. Your propensity for vocalizing is quite surprising. You must be one of those magical ones they always talk about. Such a rarity, like a unicorn, or a comet that comes around every 75 years. However, it would be much appreciated if you wouldn't be so communicative. You might make them uncomfortable with your aptitude and articulation. See, They're not used to be feeling less than. I'm sure you understand. Those big words take up too much space. Please limit your commentary to a one-sentence maximum, lest you be seen as trying to dominate the conversation that they were never personally invited into. They have to have the answer for everything to pacify the lie that their input is always welcome, needed even. Those flesh-toned Mary Janes are a bit much, and even more extra is you walking into a room like you own it. Colonizers don't like feeling as though they're being conquered. That's their job. Don't make any sudden moves, despite that being a creative expression is par for the course. Be very aware of your eye contact, which could be misconstrued as threatening. The furrow of your brow and the wrinkle in your forehead might indicate discontent. And please do take care to not raise your voice above 1/8 of an octave. Then you're yelling. Speak easy. You don't want to trigger their fragility. This technique lets them actually think they're in charge. Shuck and jive and laugh out loud. It'll relieve the awkwardness in the room. They like being entertained. And if you can tone down your attire because you dress every day like you're going to church, then that would be most excellent. Oh, I know. It's almost traumatizing to stuff your authentic, glorious self all the way down, only to be lost in the myriad of microaggressions. They already profit from the identity stripping industry, yet they have the gall to not even leave a couple of dollars in your G-string for all the pain and suffering that they impart. Yeah, you're not really like the others, except maybe when you're actually talking. It's kind of difficult to read you, so kindly refrain from continually opening your book of life you call your individuality. Always remember the 4 C's: cape, cosign, coddle, and capitulate. No matter how wrong they are, just let them think they're right. Anything else would translate to your becoming aggressive or belligerent, and that would just be unladylike. Your job is to make them feel kind and smart and important. Whatever it is you're feeling, just swallow it down and keep it to yourself. No use in talking, they don't hear you anyway. You don't want to give off the impression that we're whiners and complainers. Oh, and another thing. You're too light to have that much attitude. Someone actually told me that once. While your pedigree is quite impressive, play it like you're the exception and not the rule. They needn't trouble themselves with the pain of knowing that there are others. So simply play down your Black excellence and Black girl magic in favor of just all right. Remember, you're not the only one here, so whenever you're around them, you represent me and those like us. My ability to navigate the Queen's English apparently blew your mind so hard you had to have a cigarette afterward. I do not enunciate in an effort to frustrate, but if y'all feeling less than over some $20 words, that sounds like a personal problem. Funny you would talk about taking up space when you resemble felons who stole entire countries. It's just like you to promote derision and strife as a distraction while you absconded with the goods. And if you truly think that you are in charge, you are just as lost as Columbus was. But I digress. You're just doing your civic duty of not minding your own business and giving useless advice to BIPOC people when it was never your place to sound off. And as my mom would say, my 96-year-old mom, I might add, well, that's mighty white of you. Oh, and you still can't touch my hair. And as for you Negroes, nobody puts baby in a corner. I'll not be grounded by your imbecilic rules, so get your feet off my cape. I represent me, and as one of my brothers in arms once told me, in the words of Adele Givens, you are such a lady. Ooh, did I season you with too much sass? I pray you pardon me. I will drip drop, drippity drip drop seeds of Black girl magic all day long, so stop sprouting weeds in my garden. Your listless, lamed up diatribe is making me sleepy, so shut up, pigeon, and let this eagle soar with the speed of a jet plane while I eject you from my cockpit with a 1-finger salute. Be gone and trouble me no more. Go train for your oppression Olympics. I'm boycotting this spectacle. Those medals I can live without. My education is a badge of honor. And have you forgotten that Black women are the most schooled, learned, cultivated, lettered, erudite demographic on this barren land? Guess I wasn't supposed to say that, out loud. So I give you a grade of M for moronic, malcontented, maligner of our fellow melanated majesties. Perhaps you can cram this lesson into 6 weeks of summer school that you somehow couldn't pick up in 10 months. Oops, saved by the bell. Please find your way to the nearest one-way exit. This is not a drill. Class dismissed. And okay. Actually, I'm gonna close off with that. Since you're gonna have me come back and close out anyway, I'm just gonna kick back and listen to round 2 of the open mic. But thank you. I am the poet RoseGold. Continue to bloom. Thank you.
Did you want to plug anything else that you have coming up, RoseGold, or where people can find you who might be watching this back and they don't have access to the chat?
Well, there's the event on the 16th, right? The art show where we reveal our covers.
Yes.
So I'll put that out. I'll post that to my social media platforms and send that out to people individually. Also, Jane Spoken Word, who couldn't be with us tonight, she's having her word jam and all stars come up the week after that. So both on Sundays. So next Sunday and the Sunday after that. So I'll be pretty busy this month.
Awesome. Awesome, y'all. Unmute your mics, please. Give it up for our feature reader tonight, the one and only, the poet RoseGold. Woo! Let's go, poet. Yes.
Get it to death, sis, as usual.
We've had the blessing of having Poet RoseGold here at The Word is Right multiple times, whether we're celebrating 9/11 or veterans or just celebrating women and amazing poetry. So you can always go back through the archives at The Word is Right on our Facebook page, go through our videos, search RoseGold, the word RoseGold, it'll pull you up the videos. You can also go to the YouTube channel and you can find all of her performances there as well. Amazing, just stunning. And so stick around because she's going to give you that sweetener at the end, that extra encore poem. All right, so the list goes as follows: Shocky G, Terry Rose, Mark States, Rich Boucher, Stacey Dyson, and Doc Janning. And then we'll bring RoseGold up for an encore poem to finish us off tonight. Let's see. Shocky, are you ready?
Yeah. I mean, that's fucked up. I gotta follow Poet RoseGold, but whatever.
I know. Sorry. I figured that would be a good place to draw the line. I cannot spotlight you because your camera's off, but it's okay to have your camera off. I just want to let you know. So if you okay now, okay, here, watch. I can spotlight you now, and then it'll probably, if you turn your camera off, it'll probably let you stay spotlighted. But I didn't want you to think I wasn't spotlighting you. Hi, it's good to see you.
I know, I'm
Hi.
so black. You can't even see me. You see like the right side of my face.
That's like Blitz in the morning, right? He's but Shocky will be here in Albuquerque for the Poetry Summit again. And don't worry, I think they did a total cleaning of the bumblebee statues, so it'll be fine. All right. Let's go.
Okay. I will maybe do 2 pieces. I'm gonna do the first piece. Bear with me, I'm struggling. I ate like 6 watermelon today. It don't make no sense. If you give a mouse a cookie, he will ask for milk. If you give a man a badge, a gun, a false sense of power, he will ask for immunity, the freedom to kill at will. Last week, a cop shot an unarmed citizen, used excessive force on someone having a mental health crisis, threatened to arrest a homeless person for sleeping anywhere. The thing about this poem is I could have wrote it 2 years ago, next year, this morning, and it would still be true. The cops in my city have decided they will no longer come when we call. Figure if we are going to protest a death, there's no reason to keep us alive. Officer voicemail reporting for backup has a different kind of ring to it. Guess it's a call of duty, especially when you got black ops in this modern warfare. We said defund, they heard defend, and refused to do either. Say, no one wants to be a cop anymore. Sounds more like don't want to be held accountable. More like they can all go to hell in the same handbasket as the rest of the bad apples. Bruised egos and body cams, riot gear and wrong decisions, walking a thin blue line between protecting corporate assets and serving community. We never needed a mouse to see how the cookie crumbles. Just give a man a badge, and he will milk it till you take your last breath. And I'll do this piece. I'm sure everyone has heard it. I don't know what it is, but this Pride Month has been extra homophobic. Like people jumping in DMs and posting stats, and it's crazy. So I wrote this, but I also do want to acknowledge that it is Men's Mental Health Month. So please make sure, men, that you are taking care of yourself. Go to therapy. You deserve it. Okay. Trigger warning for sexual assault. The man says he doesn't have anyone to talk to. And I have to remind myself, correlation is not the same as causation. When he says the only friend is the mother of the girl he just raped. But he says he is a God-fearing man. So usually he would just pray on it. And what an interesting choice of words. This morning, a Christian man posted that gays are all that is wrong with this world, that we are trying to destroy God's children, and I wish I could tell him about my day at work. But I do not want the little girl to become lost innocence and lesson in the same day. How he prayed over her body before he prayed on her body and says God will forgive him. I do not call myself a Christian because I don't want to believe I pray to that same God. But somehow I want my own sins forgiven. And the guy on the internet says that my sins are worse. Says, look what gays did to Sodom and Gomorrah. And I want to know how he demonizes the gays and idolizes the father who offered up his daughters to be raped. Sometimes I wonder if we are reading the same book. He blames me for harming the children when predatory men are giving them up as sacrifice. But what do you expect when we are all taught that someone has to die for our sins? In the same book that says we cannot take our own lives. I spent 60 minutes looking for the lamb in the bush to replace the child. I found myself talking to a burning planet instead. But what do I know? I'm told I am the one to blame.
Shaki, I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you because the audio went really muffled. Can you restart that poem, please? Because I really want people to hear it, but it just started sounding super muffled. But yeah, if you could restart and do that poem, it's really important for people to hear that. Sorry.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, guys. The man says he doesn't have anyone to talk to. And I have to remind myself, correlation is not the same as causation. When he says his only friend is the mother of the girl he just raped. But he says he is a God-fearing man. So usually he would just pray on it. And what an interesting choice of words. This morning, a Christian man posted that gays are all that is wrong with this world, that they are trying to destroy God's children, and I wish I could tell him about my day at work. But I do not want this little girl to become lost innocence and lesson in the same day. How he prayed over her body before he prayed on her body and says God will forgive him. I do not call myself a Christian because I don't want to believe I pray to that same God. Somehow I want my own sins forgiven. The guy on the internet says, my sins are worse. Says, look what the gays did to Sodom and Gomorrah. And I want to know how he demonizes the gays and idolizes the father who offered up his daughters to be raped. Sometimes I wonder if we are reading the same book. He blames me for harming children when predatory men are giving them up as sacrifice. But what do you expect when we're all taught that someone has to die for our sins in the same book that says we cannot take our own lives? I spent 60 minutes looking for the lamb in the bush to replace the child, but found myself talking to a burning planet instead. But what do I know? I'm told I am the one to blame, and all I can do is write a poem. You're muted.
Oh, thank you. Let's go. Give it up for the great Shocky G. Oh my gosh.
Woo! I love it. You piss people off. I love it.
I heard Chanson in there. I heard him chiming in. So for those who don't know, Chanson is Chanson has haiku workshops twice a month. Shocky does the Out Loud podcast live the first Sunday of the month, and she also does workshops and hosts shows on Wednesdays. So you got to plug in her. She's got a lot of things, and of course, her incredible book In Lieu of Flowers was nominated for 2 Pushcart prizes. So get her book too. Like, just do it. All right, let's keep rocking this list. Terry Rose Jertson, another Red or Green Books author, in fact, who I got to have pancakes this morning with, because Saturday mornings on Instagram I do pancakes and poetry, and so Terry Rose came through this morning and got to make some pancakes with her and read from her book Chameleon Chronicles, which is funny, witty. It's a wonderful book. In fact, your book and Generalissimo's book would be like great compliments for each other. And then we got Mark States, Rich Boucher, Stacey Dyson, Doc Janning, who is a dual laureate. I can't say all of it because it's too much, but he's a dual laureate. So we have 2 poet laureates and dual laureates closing us out, and then RoseGold will finish us off. All right, are you ready, Terry Rose?
Yes.
Hi, let me spell it.
Dwayne, hello again. I read this earlier, Shocky and whoever else was in there, I forget, heard it. It came through kind of funny, and I was also given the advice that if I read this in a slam, I'd be disqualified because a lot of it is like found poetry off of other songs. So I'm just gonna say that ahead of time. And there's probably a trigger warning for domestic violence in here. Music has been the soundtrack for my life at different occasions. When at last you came along, my lonely days were over. Still waiting for my life to become like that song, or so I thought, until summertime, when the living was easy. But these were not the good times, where I could leave all my cares behind. Because you sent me, darling, you really sent me a goodbye. This was our last goodbye. And you might wonder what's become of the brokenhearted. You know, I got to find some kind of peace of mind, baby. Still searching for my peace of mind, baby. Remember that mixtape you made me and the baby? Perhaps because you knew you'd be sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the time roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting my time. Living out your life by the bay without the love of your life. As I sit here reminiscing about all the parts of you that I once loved and cast away, and still trying to sleep in the bed that we made, and coming to the realization that time was never on my side in this. Time was always on your side, and you will never be coming back to me. I made sure of that. And this is along the same lines. What was meant to destroy me, you were the one sent from the universe to recreate my creation of a Hallmark movie, the likes of which something was off. In the peak of pretend performance to bring me to my knees, I was a terrible actress. insured of my precious life, brought it to an ugly conclusion with hearts ripped out, left a path of wreckage. Unsuspecting as I was blindsided by your innocence, but I was gaslit by the spark. I felt fire between us. Every time I thought of you, my face would hurt from smiling so intensely. Your eyes filled with lights, blinding me, forgetting myself and which star was burning out. You became a black hole, gathering me amongst your minions, but the spotlight was forever yours, never learned how to share it. You made no room for another player, edged out by your ego, which became inflated by the hot air of your well meaning fans, each one guilty of blowing smoke, lying to save your face, your temper destroying everything in its path. I have yet to be reborn from the ashes of my burnt flesh. Peace.
Whew, let's go, y'all. Unmute your mics. Give it up for Terry Rose Jurtson. Woo!
Well done tonight. Well done.
I like how she's kind of going into the dark side. It's very macabre, almost like some of Rich Boucher's poems. But macabre, that's not a bad way of describing it, I hope. Because they're not meant to be funny. They're meant to be macabre. All right. Mark States. Oh, I'm so excited Mark States is back. Mark States had a phenomenal feature here at The Word Is Right not too long ago. You should, if you like, you should go back and watch. And then we'll have Rich Boucher, which is fitting that these two men are side by side in this list. And then we'll have Stacy and then Doc, and then RoseGold will come and finish us off. Let me spotlight you, Mark. Take it away.
John's basement is in all of us. Certainly over the decades, this basement has seen more than its fair share of rough-hewn faces, the down and outs, the down and inconsolable, Depression-era migrants needing a place to rest their heads while searching for the next odd job and next meal, war veterans who've witnessed too many mangled bodies of friends and washing their minds with alcohol only serves to mangle their own lives even further. Every single one clinging to the taint of the American dream, fretting which fetid rabbit hole they were facing and never getting a piece of the American pie. This basement might eventually see a leaning tower of pizza boxes and lounging sunglass-wearing cockroaches, content after feast of leftover crusts, while Sonny is on his latest 24-hour bender. Bent over keyboard and joystick, master of Grand Theft Auto, pawn of Grandma McNarcissist. But no, this film is black and white, and John toots a party favor in front of his basement door. One might find this setting appropriate for a Rod Serling intro to a Twilight Zone episode, a portal to a bizarre new world, a twist of fate or circumstance, a commentary on the perversity of postmodern capitalism. What in the world is in John's basement, and why is John on such a mind-altering drugs display of excitement, eager to show it off? That one of John's personal demons is off camera on a smoke break should be enough of a clue, a red flag if his world were not black and white, that what you are stepping into is not an episode of television, but of paranoid hallucinatory schizophrenia. You see, I've watched too many episodes of Criminal Minds, the torture rooms, trails of dismembered bodies, the mazes of broken glass and dead-end hopes, too many rooms where you check in for one night and then check out permanently. I've watched too many poets on my computer, and they all speak to me. They are looking right at me, and no one is behind me. It has to be me. Rich Boucher and his new power drill are still fresh in my mind. It's not so much the cranium shavings he is gently caressing off my face, nor the blood spatter he's wiping off his. What really hurts is that I thought we were friends. Perhaps we still are, and I just do not realize it, too triggered by my own experience to understand how much he cares about what is happening to me. I have howled with glee watching Hitman stand over booby trap bathtub while telling that Boris bad enough guy, yell all you like. The Lord himself won't hear you. I've watched the blitzkrieg minds of our generation crumble into gritty dust like broken shells on a beach under the weight of internet conspiracy theory videos and podcasts peddling fears that political parties are running child porn rings from the basements and back rooms of New Jersey pizza parlors and creating viral microchips in the basements of clandestine medical research centers and plotting to take away your guns and the right to say stupid shit in super secret meetings held in their luxurious Illuminati penthouses, which the elite won't tell you are really basements if you turn the building upside down, because they want to keep you in the dark about the real roof that will set you free. And the only way to save yourself is to click on that subscribe button. And don't forget to buy their merch. And by golly, a lot of these podcasts are created in people's basements. So, yeah, a lot of skanky stuff goes on in basements. Do I really need to know what is in John's basement? I'm not dying to know, nor am I dying because I found out. Nah, I'm good. Take a whack at it yourself if you want. There is nothing to lose except everything.
Let's go, y'all. Unmute your mics. Give it up for Mark States. Oh, that was super. Yeah. Oh, yes. Look at Rich with his, like, let's go. I love the bromance. Like, people make really good friends here. I'm just going to put that out there that, people come from all over. We've had thousands of shows here at The Word is Right. Thousands since COVID. And it's so many, I just stopped counting. All these people come together. Rich, what you got? I know you want to say something.
Well, I just want to first of all say thank you to Mark. I feel called out is whatever the expression that the young people are saying nowadays, but I feel it in a good way. Thank you so much. Absurdly honored. I hope you saw my comment in the chat, which is that you are always a masterclass in delivery and presentation. And I really hope people are taking notes about how you launch into a poem, how you conclude the performance of the poem. You just got it down, Mark, and it's just a great thing to see.
Thank you. You inspire me.
The feeling is very mutual.
I love it. I love it. It's like Shocky and RoseGold, Rich and Mark. It's wonderful. I love it. All right. Priceless and Stacy. All right. So Black Noise Poetry in the house. I'm assuming you would like to read, sir. If you would like to read, let me know. I'll get you on the list. So now we'll bring up Rich Boucher, and we have Stacy and then Doc, and we'll go down the list that way. Let me spotlight you.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Apologies for not shaving. I look a little rough. That was really impolite of me to not shave for this, but there we go. New goal with sharing my work on Zoom. And I don't really have a whole lot to say. I'm just going to go into the poem. This is called Make a Gun Boy Cry Again. The young man who is also an old man, who is also someone who really loves and adores the police, and who is also, by pure coincidence, a Caucasian man, and who also really loves and adores Lee Greenwood's hymn, Proud to be an American, comes into my store wearing a pro-gun Second Amendment fetish shirt, meaning that he comes to the thought of the use of guns. The thought of shooting ranges gets him to launch billions upon billions of knuckle children into space with ease. The thought of a flag-waving, obedient woman with full available tits, tightness like a vice, and a head for far-right handjobs like a good Lauren should, makes him arrive like a jackhammer. And the alpha male legends born on that t-shirt read, in this particular order, lead or be led, and lions, not sheep. Lots of pointy, spiky, sharp, aggressive, tribal, tattoo-ish graphics on that shirt. Lots of impotence deep in the center of his tactical pants. So much ineffectual cock. There's also an eagle on the t-shirt, and the eagle has an obvious erection. And the eagle is dropping bombs on a library in that image. And on each bomb, someone has scrawled the words, "Fuck your feelings," in white chalk. Get it? See what that t-shirt did there? He comes into my store wearing this horrid, small penis, militaristic cosplay nonsense. He somehow expects to be taken seriously. He expects this. What he does not expect is what I give him. I smack him in the face until he cries. On the inside of my hand, on the palm side, you can see the word bitch written there in indelible fingerprint. And that is the side of my hand I shake him with so that he will cry, so that he will understand. He gets down on his knees in front of me and cries and begs and sissies for me because that's what he has coming to him for dressing like that. He was asking for it. The way he was dressed. The way he was dressed. The way he was dressed. I dust his face with cooking flour until he feels small. I fix pink bows in his hair until he can't explain what's wrong, until all he can do is whimper. I castrate him with a carrot scraper and apply clown makeup to his face and parade him around. He's my little toy dog now. His new name is Girly Cake, the little adorable cunt clown. He is mewling, like a fluffy white kitten from heaven. I pat him on his head, but this is what he has coming. This is what you get, I tell him, for coming into my work like you're some kind of badass with your gun-loving t-shirt. This is what you get for wearing a t-shirt that proclaims that since you love the Second Amendment, that means you get the right to lead me anywhere. I make him wear a woman apron and cook my steak and potatoes right there in the store. I make him suck me off while vacuuming the corners, and I force him to be a Norman Rockwell painting. I make him call himself bitch when I call upon him. He only wanted to get some ranch water and hard cider and tequila and cigars, but now he knows what he has to do. I force him to wear hair curlers. I tampon him right in the face until he cries like he's in the 7th grade again. It's what he gets for wearing a t-shirt extolling the virtues of gun ownership. Now he knows all about my ownership of him. This is what he gets. I mean, to dress like that. Clearly, he was asking for it. Thank you.
Let's go, Rich Boucher. You all unmute your mics. Give it up for Rich Boucher. Yes.
My new favorite. My new favorite. Second to only the power drill one.
Bitch
Love you,
on the
Mark.
hand. Although I like your basement poem though a lot too. Yeah, so don't go into Rich's work and fuck with him. We don't fuck with poets who put you in a poem. That's how this works. But yes, see, there's a poet in all of us. Yeah, Black Noise, he's like always dope for sure. Black Noise will be back here in New Mexico in September for the summit as well. So you'll get a chance to meet so many of these amazing poets. All right. Next up, we have Stacy Dyson, the fearless leader of the Tesoro Women. She is also a poet laureate and an incredible spoken word artist. And she's here in Albuquerque right now. So I'm like so excited that she's actually here and she loves me enough to come back. I'm so excited for that. So I'm going to go ahead and spotlight you, Stacy. Doc, you are on deck.
Okay. One pretty short one fairly medium one, and both of them rather old because I haven't written anything new lately, but oh well. Talks on aging graciously always make me smile because I got plans that will redefine getting old in style. My joints may ache a little bit, honey, that ain't no strain. I'll be stepping out and looking good with my high heels and my cane. At 60, I'll be hitting stride. Let me tell you what that means. Poetry and passion in Egypt, champagne and sex in the Argentines. Purple's supposed to give me power, make me a rebel, I guess. Well, I've been a goddess all my life. I don't hear that foolishness. I hate purple anyhow. I'll dress rainbow array. Scarlet, peach, beige, gold, and teal, whatever I feel that day. I figure in my 70s, I'll finally pick a man out of the 24 30-year-olds vying for my hand. Now, I'm not ruling out 20 or even 21, but training a brand new lover isn't really that much fun. Nothing's changed since 32. This diva's born to roam. And if he can't bring it hard, hot, and sweet, then he better take it home. I'll still sizzle at 80. That ain't no jive. Still rocking the mic at 85. 90, I'll switch lovers again, according to my desire. Still speaking songs or talking trash and setting the world on fire. Absolutely no sign or intention of running out of gas. Little girls will weep and tear their hair because they're totally outclassed. 92, I might slow down a bit, but only for the day because I'm due to spin poetry all next week along the Champs-Élysées. From Europe to Asia to city from town, 95, and I'm still trekking, tearing it up and laying it down, strong men fainting when I beckon. And on my days off, you can watch if you want. I'll be swinging it down the lane with my 40-year-old boy toy on my high heels with my cane. They are dying. They are dying, all of them, our daughters, our sisters, our friends. This is a generation dying. No kisses. And I have to wonder, why have we not told them that it is not acceptable, it is necessary, it is dangerous not to know? Because when you are young and beautiful, when you are young and beautiful, when you are young and beautiful as our daughters, our friends, our little sisters, you can get confused. And that is dangerous. Dangerous in that heartache kills, desire kills, expectation based on confusion will kill you. And that is unacceptable. Is it because it is much too painful to know the truth, much too painful to know and tell the truth, when we had to learn the hard way, the way the wrong man decided to tell us was unacceptable? They should not suffer because we suffered. We suffered. We suffered empty sex, empty hopes, confused expectations. This is unacceptable because they are dying. Dying of no real knowledge, dying of no trust, dying of no kisses, to hold their bodies softly, still, in grace, in light, in a desire that understands them. How do they not know our daughters, our little sisters, how do they not know that love is to be trusted, love is to be savored, love is to be open to the kisses they are dying from lack of? How do they not know? How do they not know? How do they survive without the certainty of that slide across your wrist, that flow gracing the hollow of your throat, the gentlest, sweetest assurance across the curve of your breast is their due, is their right, is their future to demand? They are dying with no kisses, dying because when you are young and beautiful, young and vulnerable, young and unsure, sex and love are one thing, sex and lust are one thing, sex and passion are one thing, and this is not the case. Little sister, love is not sex. Love is not passion. Love is not satisfied when only he is satisfied and you are left alone in your heart, in your thoughts, in your bed. Love is not satisfied when you are not satisfied, when you are confused, when you are alone. Dying of no connection. Dying of no future, dying from not knowing what is necessary, what is basic, what is needed to let you breathe. Keep your bodies softly still. Because when you are young and beautiful, when you are young and beautiful, when you are young and beautiful, you should not be faltering. You should not be thirsting. You should not be in pain. Dying. You should not be dying of no knowledge, of no hope of what is yours by right. You should not be dying of no kisses.
Let's go, Stacy. All right, let's go. Let's go. Unmute your mics. Give it up for the one and only Stacy Dyson.
Woo!
Woo!
Thank you,
All the
Madam
ways a
Cesaro.
body can
What were you saying, Rich?
I think
All the ways a body.
I think I spoke over somebody. I didn't mean to. I was just gonna say all the ways that a person can die, not having to do with the flesh, and that was just really well portrayed.
Does anyone else want to add to this? I don't know. I'm sorry if someone was speaking. Oh, you should not die from lack of kisses. Yeah, I feel this. I feel this a lot, Stacy. That might be my new favorite piece. And I keep thinking, and the world will not fall down, and the world will not fall down. Like that's this was the in my mind as you were reading that piece. I've learned that the world will not fall down. It keeps getting back up and kicking the shit out of me, but hey, we're here. All right, let's go. Doc Janning, you're up next. Doc Janning is a dual laureate. I'm not memorizing the rest of it, but he's a dual laureate, and we're so excited that he has come back to be with us at The Word Is Right. And then we have Black Noise, Open Mic, Priceless Black, who also has a show here at The Word Is Right, will be rounding us out, and they'll have Poet RoseGold finish us off tonight. Let me see, Doc. Let me see where you're at so I can spotlight you, sir.
I'm not a sir. I've never been knighted.
Maybe you have. Maybe you have not. All right, let's go. Take it away, Sir Doc Janning.
This poem I am going to read tonight is one which was recently published in Finn Hall's new anthology titled Unite the States of America. And I wrote it, I had just read some of Ferlinghetti's work, and I came across his title, I Am Waiting, and it seemed appropriate to write using that as the premier portion of the line. I am waiting for a return to common sense and common decency. I am waiting for a new exploration, a new investigation of the human psyche. I am waiting for an understanding of humanity and its oneness in all its differences. I am waiting for the realization that all belief systems distill to one word, and that word is love. I am waiting for love in all its forms to be called love and be accepted by all. I am waiting for rediscovery of Gaia and a tikkun olam, a repair of the world. I am waiting for a day of clarity, a new day of innocence, a day of no more weapons. I am waiting for an awakening to the value of books, the value of education. I am waiting for an awakening to beauty, poetry and music, art and literature. I am waiting for the realization that opinion and conjecture are not fact. I am waiting for folks to realize there are those trying to split us, to divide and conquer. I am waiting for the recognition that religious doctrine makes for bad laws. I am waiting for the return to governance of, by, and for the people. I am waiting for our elected representatives to remember the old adage, people before politics or party. I am waiting for a recognition that corporations are not people and money is not speech. I am waiting for a rebirth of perpetual wonder and the celebration of us. And I am waiting for a rediscovery of the United States, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the phrase under God was added during the McCarthy era in 1954. Thank you.
Awesome. I love the history lessons as well. So thank you so much, Doc Jennings, for being here and for facilitating all of that. Yes, thank you so much. All
And,
right, let's keep going.
Before you go,
Yes.
I have my event, Second Sunday Poets, coming up. I'm going to throw the info in to the chat.
Yes, thank you, Doc. Wonderful. And Doc has been a feature here at Word is Right as well. So you can always go back through the archives and check out his videos, check out the old posts and all that good stuff that we've had. He has been a mainstay over the years here at The Word is Right. All right, Black Noise Open Mic, you are up next. Priceless has a new book out. I Cry Over Spilled Ink. It is a wonderful, wonderful book. So hang on one sec. Wait. I'm getting a message. No. So we are in the first round. We're not doing a second round because we've already been in 2 hours now. So it's okay. So if you already read in the first round, if you read earlier, you're good to go. I don't have time for a second round. I have company in town actually this weekend, and Stacey Dyson is in town this weekend, but I have additional company in my house this weekend, so I'm not going to stay for a second round. But you can always go back and watch the live stream and watch if you missed some of the performers. No worries, totally fine. I just yeah. So all right, so Black Noise, are you ready to read, sir? And then you can catch Priceless the third Friday of the month. He's got an open mic show here at the Word is Right. So excited. Hopefully it'll be the first and third. I think it's going to be the first and third coming up soon. And then after Priceless, we'll do RoseGold to finish us off and a toast to wish everyone well. Let me go ahead and spotlight you, sir. Oh, there he is. Oh, I gotta hug you. Mama Teresa gonna be so mad she's not here. She drove up to Canada. I'm gonna hug you for her because she likes to gush over you.
Well, hey, how is everybody doing? I got some new stuff, so hopefully you like it. I want to consume your smile like I sip my coffee. Brew me a seductive look in your eyes. Sounds of ecstasy-induced enjoyment, kissable, rich, and delectable. Big cup flowing down my soul, creamy and sweet, steaming an addiction. Be my morning fix, an insatiable happy. The caffeine I search for, best part of my wake up, warmth trickling down my chest, the jolt of energy to get me ready for the world, just smooth enough to tame my rough edges. A couple spoonfuls of sugar to keep a smile on my face, pep in my step, and love on my mind, making it cozy. In this pot of home I hold so dear, press every wound on this body, experience seen by these eyes. Take my doubt and whip it into a dream, my morning muse, the courage that pours to every pore. You stir us amazing, espresso me alive. When I feel decaffeinated, not quite like myself, I need you more than you know. Cake cups can't hold the appreciation I have for you. Can't fathom losing your touch, texture like heaven on the tongue. Perfect how satisfaction rolls off. Smells of everything I wish for. Just a hint of spice. My life ground into black silk, a blanket of roasted hugs. I love how you fold yours into my resting place. My morning blend of bliss. The truest balance I've ever had. Thank you.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. It's like almost like too sweet. I'm getting cavities. Yes, priceless. I love it. I love this soft, sweet side of you. Yes. Let's go, poet. I mean, someone's got to pick up the slack because I sure as shit ain't no writing about no happy things. So let's go. Y'all can write about happy. That's fine. I'll be along for the ride. It's gonna end soon. The poem's gonna end soon. I hope your happiness does not end soon, but the poem will be over before I know it. So I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Torturous thing. Rich, yes, Rich, your hand is up.
Hey, thanks. I just wanted to offer some praise for the gentleman. Thank you for reading that. That was really just gorgeous. And I don't know that I have heard a lot of like that side of where you're writing from, and it was really just good to hear it. And also, as an entirely unrelated and kind of irrelevant aside, I'm still jealous of your coffee mug and want to find out later from you where you got that Reese cup coffee mug, because I've got to get myself one of those, because that has instilled major coffee mug jealousy in me.
You know what's funny?
It's so good.
Appreciate
You're welcome. You bet.
Like Rick is a total Reese's fanatic as well. So this is like super funny. All right, y'all, unmute your mics. Give it up for Black Noise Poetry today as he finishes our open mic list. Woo!
Congrats on the book.
Yes. I Cry Over Spilled Ink. Where can people find you, follow you, get your book, all that good stuff, Price?
Thank you. You can get it at barnesandnobles.com. Books A Million. or you can go to my website, www.blacknoisepoetry.com, and I am blacknoise.poetry on Instagram.
You can also use my link on Instagram to buy his book, just so we both get paid for it.
That's so sweet, Shocky. Yes. Anytime you can get it directly from the poet, right, you can even have them maybe sign it and send it to you. They're always going to make more money. So if you can get it directly from the authors, please do that. That's generally usually how it is the most beneficial for the artist. All right, let's go. Yes, and Doc Janning put in the chat as well. He's got his book and his links there. All right, so Poet RoseGold, I'm going to offer to come and finish us up this evening with an encore poem, especially if you're joining us a little bit late.
Okay, but just so you know, I'm finishing up this open mic. I'm not finishing y'all off. If I finish y'all off, y'all wouldn't be here. Okay. So this is another piece from the book. To the poems that I spit earlier are going to be in the book, as well as this piece. This one is called She. She doesn't just walk, she glides. Her feet forge a path to paradise while opalescent rays of light dance around her flickering cape. High heels tap the ground, the only sound announcing her presence. Meanwhile, not one syllable need escape her lips. Her countenance speaks for itself. She commands audience with eyes that could bore holes through your soul, sifting through the muck and mire of your fears, wading through the troubled waters that is your mind. Peace, be still. Talk is cheap, so she speaks with the richness of a symphonic composition. Words ring for those with ears to hear like 1,000 bells, summoning the courage to rise and face the world. Tongue tames the angry heart, unlocks the secrets that imprison the meek, and fills the cracks of broken spirits. Happy is she that the sun shines upon her. Its rays envelop her skin like a cocoon, molding and pruning her until she bursts forth, entering the world with wings divine. She can barely contain her jubilance. She has the right to share it. This marvelous light, this newfound freedom, a kiss from her good, good daddy. Laughter echoes from the valleys, ringing from the highest mountain peaks till it reaches heaven's gate, unwrapping the gift that is woman. Thank you again.
Let's go, y'all. Unmute your mics for our featured reader tonight, the one and only, the poet RoseGold.
Thank you so much for sharing your work tonight. Thank you for that.
Honey. Absolutely fantastic.
You can get her book, The Poet RoseGold, Instagram and Facebook. You can also read her bio and get all direct links from our website under Meet the Poets to get her book. I cannot convey to you how monumentally important it is for you to buy this book. Don't just buy one copy, buy two, one for you and one to give away, because it is a blessing for anyone who reads the book. Please, please, please do this. It is a sensational, sensational book. All right, let's do a toast. I'd like to do a toast at the end of the Saturday night open mics. So grab a drink, grab whatever you have. And if you don't have a drink, grab an air drink, right? All right, I'm going to toast you all to give a blessing to the show and to all of you. Here's to health in your company and one for the lasses. Let's drink and be merry, all of our glasses. Let's drink and be merry, bad thoughts to refrain. For we may or may not ever all be here again. This has been the Saturday Night Open Mic. I'm your host, Marissa Prada, featuring the one and only poet RoseGold at The Word Is Right and Red or Green Books. Thank you all so much for your time, for your energy, for your poetry. Keep your pens wet. I will see you all next time. Bye.